welcome back to Truthcast. Tunajua mmetumiss na mnatupenda sana. Pia sisi tumewamiss sana. And definitely it's an honor to have this beautiful lady.
Yeah. Say that again, girl.
But yeah, for real, it's an honor to just be here and to do this.
From honor to we kwenda ako rude.
Mimi ndo niko.
Wende huko baby.
Kubali haraka yaishe. Moving on swiftly, we hope you guys are being enlightened by the topics that we've done in the past.
Yeah.
We hope you've watched the previous episode. First of all, I hope ume like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tell your grandma.
Alafu nyinyi ghost viewers, we don't do that here. You comment.
Yeah.
You say something right there.
You know, because we find people like, Nili, what video you post sana na usemi hapo.
No, say me,
This is lady who's always commenting.
Yeah, Esther, we really love you. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Okay, Esther. But then when we start having live shows,
Esther,
VIP.
Yes,
But today we are going to talk about something that we all experience.
Ooh.
In fact, we normally hear people saying, "Again, I'm stress." Today we are going to be talking about stress, and I think it's a very important topic to have, especially because we are moving from one season of our lives to the other, or you're moving to another season you've not let go of the previous one, and stress affects anyone.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to have a conversation about stress. What is stress? How do I manage stress? First of all, we need to understand, is someone able to even prevent themselves from being stressed, you know, or do they just find balance? So I'm going to throw the ball to you, my sister Maggie.
Before you throw the ball, nasikia kucheka kwa sababu. See, when I was doing my chicken business, you know. When I was doing my chicken, when you said stress happens to everyone, even animals, guys. Let me tell you about the chicken.
Your chickens used to get stressed.
Let me tell you something. You see, when you bring them when they are young, you have to give them glucose because you have to give them glucose because of change of environment. They're stressed. Now, wakisikia, if you guys have like dogs, like for us, we have dogs. So you have to wakisikia something out of when there's a faint na wazi. That is exactly what I mean. Chickens will have your heart like it's like they're holding, like you would die, you'd collapse.
You mean
with chickens?
Kuku atasikia
a faint na deliver.
So what made you know that?
It's when before you start a business you need to do your research, yes. And then for me, I was lucky about. My grandmother has already done that business before. So when she was telling me, make sure you do this, make sure you give them glucose, wapate skari ndio wasikatike tu hivyo.
You know, it makes so much sense because when I told my mom that you have a business for kuku, she was like, hey, huyo msichana amejituma sana.
My mom said the same thing.
Kuku, my sister was telling me I was going through it.
On top of that, you have school.
On top of that, I had school. On top of that, I have I'm thinking about is this it?
You're like, Granny.
Yeah, chicken business is it is stressful.
Zero.
It is stressful. So I was remembering how kuku inaweza zima at the slightest of
Kwa sababu ya
stress.
Literally.
Hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What? Actually, that's a like a did you know moment for me.
Yes. They can faint and when they faint, they can faint and go. They can faint and go. And then
I think it makes sense because
unaanza kuangalia kuku as money.
in so
it is not imezima.
Alafu ikikufa hivyo sasa unaikula au unaiuza?
Sasa utauzia nani kuku imekufa?
Unauzia nani kuku imezimia?
So unamtupa wewe kuku?
Ile utamtupa, but then if you know the cause of, it depends on you because unajenga.
So what did you used to do? Did it happen to you?
Thankfully, mine have never died because of stress. I took
Well,
the stress of God. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was me that I needed to be fun.
Zime.
So what the things that they die from is probably heat and how you manage them. For me, wangu hajaikuwa wagonjwa.
Wacha nikwambie mimi mamangu kuku zake zilikamatanga homa.
And then zinaishanga
Zote mpaka jogo yule mzee.
Yeah. Unampata
wamekohoa. Kai.
It was tough. Anyway.
Anyway, let's come back.
Yeah.
That's a very good did you know moment. So Maggie, what is stress?
Hey, now that we've been told about chicken. For me, what is stress to me? Anything that just destabilizes me.
Okay.
You know, anything inafanya tu pressure yangu inapanda. I think that is stress to me. And history ya chicken imenifanya ni think. I think we are more like the chickens. Or maybe I have been more like the chickens. It's just that I don't faint physically. But on the inside, I think I actually have those faint moments.
Your life, your personality.
Autopilot. I saw such a meme that says the mode of autopilot I've been right now should be in Canada.
Yeah. So I think anything that destabilizes me. I'm a very active person. You know, I can do chores. I like going out. You know, hosting people, meeting people. So when I'm in a place where I feel like I can't do some of those things, I'm stressed.
Okay, Tiff.
I like her. We'll go with her analogy, and for me, it's not a matter of active. For me, it's are things making sense. If they're not, I'm stressed because I think I wanted to like when we were talking about the book review and we were talking about how Michelle Obama is such a thinker, and she would ask herself so many questions. When I get to a place where I'm doing the math of like now adulting, yeah. We are in our mid-20s. Headed to that. We are knocking on the door.
I'm still young.
We are knocking on the door. You know, like you ask yourself so many questions of, is this where I'm supposed to be? As in, what am I supposed to do?
Is this it?
And then you think you found the it. Then you go inside and you're like, I don't really think this is it. Like there's constant questioning, constant math, constant. Does this make sense? Does it not? And for me, I'd say this is the most destabilizing place I have been in a long time.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're stressed?
In other words.
I think we all are. And I listen to I listen to people like Ian Lang. You know, I listen to Oprah, Michelle, all these people, and they all say the same things. In your 20s, you have all these thoughts.
Yeah.
You ask yourself a lot of questions. You want to have achieved this, done that, but they say, relax. You know, these things will come. And I think if so many people are saying the same thing, then it must be true. So I think part of it probably ni sisi tunajiwekea pressure mob, and I don't blame it on us. Society brought that up.
And I think we can't even, you know, the
passion is
you see, like the guys who, it's like when you say, when an 18-year-old or the guys in their teens come and talk to you about their teenhood. Relax. But when you were there,
it was
pressing. You understand? Yeah. So I feel like it's there are seasons. In the teenhood, this is what you go through in that period. You're thinking about, do I do a relationship? Do I know career advancement and those things? Am I making progress? What am I doing with my life? You start thinking about the aspect of marriage and settling down, and you're already tired by thinking.
Yeah.
By just thinking. You understand? So I feel like we cannot escape the pressure that it comes with. We cannot escape the achievements that we want to have in this. If you got you can be like, oh, to myself.
By the way, unaonaga TikTok, where my 20-year-old girl is. Sometimes I'm usually like, the advice is too much. But let's come back. I think I can say a proper definition of stress, because all those things that you described are things that causes stress. That cause stress. But what stress is external or internal stimuli that causes deregulation in the body. Let me say it again. External or internal stimuli that causes dysregulation in the body. So, because you ever seen a baby who's 2 days old, daktari anakwambia ako stressed. Maybe hajalala poa, or the posture, or maybe the organs did not develop right. That baby is stressed. A 2-year-old is stressed because they can't figure out where they placed their toy. You know. So those are some of the things that causes stress. But stress in itself is when when God created us, there's a way the body is supposed to function. You know, with the hormones and all those things. Anyway, the external or internal. So it can be internal in that, not for ladies. Every 28 days, our uterus is
wants to kill us.
Yeah, you know, our uterus is crying because we have not received an egg. It's not my fault. So that is what stress is. And now, when now you grow older, and the way Tiffany is saying, you look back, you're like, that was easy. But there's an obstacle or a hurdle that you have to conquer. So that is how I can describe stress. And now, since now we are talking about stress management, you've mentioned the way we're talking about being on autopilot. Stress normally causes people to get on this autopilot mode because that's their defense mechanism. That's the only way they're trying to cope. And for Tiffany, even you've mentioned it before, you'll find someone is taking things at the back of their head. You know, so your subconscious gets so full of things. And then you find people, you know,
ile ya pale fly over
you're taking back unanirudisha Misri, guys.
You are at a very high stress point. And now other animals could have died.
Oh, that's now where the point where the chicken now dies.
It is too high. Because over there, first of all, stress causes hormonal imbalance. Yes, that's why you usually hear ladies who are expectant, they're usually told not to stress themselves because already their body
is under stress.
Is under a certain kind of hormonal imbalance that it needs to be so that it can produce the baby. But any more hormonal imbalance is going to cause this baby not to grow vizuri. You get? So now let's go to how stress affects the body physically.
Question, do you have unaona venye umedefine stress in DESTA terms? DESTA standards. Do you have that kind of definition autopilot? What is being in autopilot?
I've just defined it.
How?
It is postponing handling the stress.
Or not feeling, it's not would I say sitting with your emotions? It's really, this has happened to me next. This has happened to me next. So I'm not dealing.
Yes.
Okay, so now another question.
Or rather, sorry, you're dealing, but not the proper way because you're not handling and facing things. You're taking them to the back of your head.
So that action of taking it to your subconscious, does it have to be intentional ama pia mtu anaweza fanya hivyo kama hajui?
Inaanzanga intentionally. Unasemanga sina time ya hii. So you've had people, even sometimes I do that. Tutalia kesho. Kesho ifiki. Pia huyu ni mwingine. Alafu ikifika uko wapi? Kwa flyover. At least our viewers know that. So I will bring it up. So that being on autopilot is a form of dealing with the stress.
So when you're getting to autopilot, you are aware that you're getting into autopilot.
It starts as a form of awareness because you're like, you don't want to handle this. For instance, I was going to use a very... Thank you, Holy Spirit. But, let's talk about job. You're not performing well at work. And instead of you coming and handling it and you know, trying to break down why am I not performing well at work, your life
goes on.
Your life goes on. But it is highly stressing you because you also probably don't understand why you're performing poorly at work. So you're at a certain level of stress, but since you don't want to handle this obstacle, you keep it at the back of your head. You take it to your subconscious. And so you want to tell yourself that niko sawa ama nitakuwa sawa, but you're supposed to take the necessary steps to become okay. You will still be at that level of stress or even worse. So that is what, and autopilot is just one of the ways that people handle stress. Other people take up.
Yeah. People deal differently.
So guys, sitaki kuongea hii episode yote.
So you know some of you bounce
Ni sawa.
Okay. So for me, how I've handled stress in the past is I have autopiloted, especially in 2022.
Yo, my sister. Ukuna autopilot lakini you can see it in your physique.
Unasonga ilikuwa refu. Arolu.
I had become so thin.
Yeah. Your neck was literally.
And you know the saddening part was that I would realize that I've grown thin when this top feels
a bit light.
baggy. This trouser doesn't have this space and it's not a stretcher.
Yeah.
That's how I used to feel that I'm losing weight. And then one day someone voiced out, she said, "Hey, you're not okay. You've really lost a lot of weight." I'm like, "What have I?" That's when now it's and that was like towards the end of the year. That was like in September after we voted in the president and now I'm getting back to my business. I'm trying to figure out what is this, you know. Sales are not coming.
But that year you really did a lot of autopiloting because there was a lot that was happening and you were not dealing at all.
I was not dealing at all. Which now takes me to now, let's jump into dealing. We've talked about stress and there are very many other things that could cause stress. I don't think we can exhaust them. I think they're very personal, you know, especially because stress is internal and external.
I'd like to know how Maggie deals with stress. Let me hear it from her.
She breathes.
Tuone kama she's saying the truth before the Lord.
Be very careful what you say.
Tutakuambia sahi tu. Let's hear it.
They sound like they know me better than I know myself. Well, it happens in friendships. Well, I don't know how I would answer that. I don't know. Sometimes I try to be as busy as I can, you know. I think I just get busy.
You don't deal at all.
I think Maggie deals when it comes to the point of I have to deal.
Maggie deals with priority.
Yes, that is true. That is
with
true.
Priority.
That is true.
For example, in what we sit in a lot of leadership spaces with her. Okay. So she will deal.
You're going to bring that up here
with priority. That's why I've said spaces. I have not specified which and which. So she will deal with priority. They need an answer tomorrow. She will deal tonight. You understand what I'm saying? If there's pressure to give an answer, if there's pressure to produce results, she will deal with whatever it is she has to deal with concerning that space. That during that time, amalizane, and then her point is usually to malizane. You get? Are you seeing what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Her point, she's not dealing to, okay, Maggie, somebody said this and they hurt me. How do I feel about it? She doesn't, I'm not encouraging you to sit in
emotions a lot.
Not emotions, to sit in the mud for too long. But Maggie's motivation is not that I don't want to sit in the mud for too long. Maggie's objective is to get it over and done.
So is she going to stay in the mud or she's going to come out of the mud?
I feel like she's going to come out of the mud, yes, but for me sometimes I feel like I have a problem, if I should have a problem, in that she will deal with it quickly, not that I can deal with myself and get past this, but so that iishe. Kama kuna mtu ana pressure, aache kumsumbua. You get?
So she wants peace. She doesn't want problems.
Wewe uende home.
Okay.
Wachane na yeye. That is for me in my eyes.
Maggie?
Well, I don't want peace. I don't want problems. I like my peace. So
Maggie wants peace at all costs.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes with peace, I'm like, oh,
let's get peace.
Trying it to help.
I don't like problems. So yes, my motivation is I want peace, But just to see if I have understood you, I think Siokao feels like tuseme umeni heart. And I have to talk tomorrow. I have to meet you in a meeting. We have to interact. So maybe tonight I'll sit down with you, we solve things because I'm motivated
For the sake of tomorrow.
For the sake of tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
you
if
don't fanya hivyo.
ngoja,
We
so
don't
wacha
fight.
niongee. So I think Sioka is trying to say that when I come to you, to malizane for the sake of tomorrow, it's like I don't deal with my heart.
Yeah, I usually feel like you don't deal with because
Today, just sip chai.
As if tea.
James amenisaidia.
Msichana mrembo lugha.
Very beautiful,
Because-
but
Back to what I was saying, guys. I feel like with that, the motivation behind it in Aikwangi, you don't focus, itakuja come up again.
Guys,
So many times
Okay.
after that situation. Itakuwa unajua uliniambianga, ulinifanyanga, ukanifanyanga. I'm like,
let me cut you short because I feel like that's how Maggie handles conflict. But there's a difference between conflict and stress. Yes, Maggie will have handled this conflict, but her body is still going to be stressed up about it because she's still going to be thinking about it.
because now has she dealt with it?
See, she has solved the conflict, but she has not handled the
She's
stress.
she's not for
so
herself.
you think as I'm handling the conflict, I should also handle the stress at the same time?
Address it.
Yes.
Address
Okay,
it.
so that is your cow's observation of me. Now this is
Take.
yes. So I've never looked at it the way she's looking at it, because for me, by the time I'm I don't like confrontations.
Yeah.
Whether it's you coming to me or me coming to you,
Ndio hiyo.
I don't like it.
You've seen that?
I'm a read.
Honestly,
So this is how it is in my head. By the time I'm coming to you and to you, by the time I'm accepting to have a conversation about something with you, for me, I'm already dealing. And by the time that conversation is done, whether I have agreed with what you've told me or not, I always think, okay, I have dealt with this, because by the time I'm coming out of the conversation, my feelings are usually changed. You get, I might continue being stressed about it, like Speo amesema, but not in the same context. Yes, or context that brought me into having a conversation with you. Tumeelewana. So I feel like, and then for me, I deal with particular things. You might tell me so many millions of things, but ni kitu moja tu out of those things you have said that it any bother. Let me give an example. Recently, I called someone who thought CJ wanted me.
Okay.
Remember? That instance, it was not the best of calls, right? In fact, I got even more disrespected in the call than I was in the conversation, right? But did I feel bad? Yes, but it didn't bother me because kenye nilikuwa nataka ku-address, nili-address. And me, I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter what the response was, what was thought, nini, I put it there. Do I still feel the pain? Yes, I do. But at least imeshuka kidogo. So that's why I always think I have dealt.
All right.
Yeah.
Tiff, tell us how you deal with it.
How do I deal with stress? Half the time, 9 out of 10, I don't deal. Kesho ifikangi.
Then you snap.
Kesho ifikangi. And then I start burning out and becoming very not as patient as I am with human beings.
Irritable.
As it should be.
As I should be. Yeah. And I'm not normally, kila mtu ajikubali. I'm not a most patient human being. So when I'm in spaces where I'm stressed, another thing is I isolate a lot, which I'm trying to change. Help me. I isolate a lot. So yeah, I think autopiloting and isolation.
You have
Different views.
Interesting. No, I think you do that. You autopilot a lot. In fact, you should be there. You should go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it a lot, and then you also the Usioka inaniboingi because I usually know this girl is not okay. You'll text her, hey bro, uko poa? Boss, mi niko poa.
Oh, no, full stop. I mean, now you talk in full stops.
Ati boss, uko aje? Niko poa.
Full stop.
Ile story iko tu, and then there's a way she
Full
normally
stop.
does her eyes. Iko tu.
What?
Let me tell you, it normally pisses me off. But I can say that you've really, really tried. And in
Yeah.
this case,
I've grown up.
because now, sort of, you've become like me. For me, it depends with the stress. If this is stress that I can speak to someone about, I will speak.
Yeah.
But there's some kinds of stress that huongea na nani. Bado iko hapo imekana mbele. So you have to cope.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that I believe I cope is looking for very good food.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I mean good food. Kama yenye tunapikiwa hapa.
Yeah.
I look for good food. And then after I eat, I sleep.
Elijah, we cannot come and die.
I eat, I sleep, I
Kilindini.
sleep. I put myself into and then after I sleep now, when I wake up and I feel like I still need to handle this, I write down what do I need to do.
Yeah.
I literally think. And I've realized now I have like 3 or 4 notebooks for different things in your church.
Mental stability.
In ya wakati natoka tu kwa nyumba na najua naweza andika kitu.
Wow.
And then now I have one where I need to when I need to
I'm in the pizza.
and then I have a notebook that I use when I am only thinking. Thinking about my music, thinking about ministry, thinking about anything that needs me to think. And I found that thinking helps me to helps me to be able to create a solution for the stress.
The problem.
And sometimes, because one thing with stress is it gives birth to
Yeah.
stress has very many babies.
Let me tell you.
You might be stressed about a spouse, and then you realize that you're not a very outgoing person. And then you realize I actually don't even like people. And then you realize that people like you, but you don't like them in the way. And then
I realize your personality is a bit shit.
yeah. And then you're like, oh, but I like that guy. And then stress just gives birth to itself.
So many things.
So you realize that as you're trying to handle one kind of stress, ingine tu inajiza, ingine inajiza, which takes me to how to now balance.
Yeah.
How to now balance.
Find balance in it.
Because for me, how I've realized that I am able to find balance is so you see to me an example. I might just say it.
You say it.
Today, this week has been a very
Stressful day. Week.
it has been a long week. You know? So I didn't expect that we'd be doing this today.
Yeah.
Since I didn't expect that we'd be doing this today. So I've gone to church. We've had powerful ministration, the mighty move of God. And then I'm super tired. And then we're coming here. We need to shoot. I love shooting with all my heart, but it takes work.
Yeah.
And now I have to drag my body that is already very tired.
Yeah.
To come and handle this stress. And then we get here. I realize I've not carried my outfit. Let me tell you, I was so when I realized that
Yeah.
I was running a fever.
It's true.
Because in
Wait until Spencer saw food. Her eyes were a different color. Guys.
Because
We'll put those videos. Yeah, you see that she eats.
yeah.
I'm not.
The smile she was because food relieves my I don't know, I feel like it balances the hormones and the dopamine.
You understand? Her energy was back.
I was so
She was
grumpy.
seeing all of a sudden sunshine and rainbows. She was
Yeah.
seeing the good of the world.
Yeah. And now, as I'm looking back, I'm glad I was able to note to myself that I'm highly stressed. And I remember I told you, Mimi, usiko poa.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing to actually do. Realize that first of all you are stressed and acknowledge it.
And I think that's one thing that I picked from you, and from you and Tata, because Tata, I don't know how Tata, I don't know. I think hence the stress again also in this video, as I was stressing in the last video, community. You know, sometimes, like I think I've told you guys so many times, I don't know I am stressed
until
Until
someone
someone
points
says
it
it.
someone
out.
points it out. Oh, so how your eyes look different, you look funny, you're sluggish in your walk. And then now that I'm grown, my face inanionyeshanga. It's my body.
I will
actually.
do that sluggish work for you people.
My body tells me that I am stressed. That's when I like all of a sudden I feel I have no energy. I have a thinking. It's called a thinking what?
Wave.
I'm in a block. I have a
Yeah.
mental block.
Yeah.
And my friends are pointing things out, and my face starts having to break out. That's when I'm like, so you need to sit down with yourself. What is the problem? And I'm really, really trying to start writing. Oh, for the love of God. Because you see other things I can write. I have a thinking book also. I'm like, point one. So this is how we can do this, we can do. Oh, dear God, inabakingi hapo kwa koma. But dear God, kusema hata sina maoni. Naiacha hapo. So I think that's one thing I need to. But you guys are the ones who point, and I've learned from you to when I'm in a space where I need to talk.
Inaonekana.
Mnaona tabia za huyu.
So I've learned from you to speak up. I was never a talk about it kind of.
Hey, it used to stress me the hell out.
I was never a talk about it kind of. Me, I was going through the things thyself, and it was hard.
Yeah.
But then community again has helped me be in a space where Siukao, there is no award I will get at if I've gone through it myself. There is no tap on the back. It's easier when it's I'm in the pits, guys.
Yeah.
For me, a way I notice that I'm stressed is I don't sleep.
Never.
Like this past two weeks, actually the whole of March, I've not been sleeping well.
Yeah.
I wake up and it's not like I sleep late. I used to sleep late, but this month I've not been sleeping late. By 10, 11, I'm in bed. I've slept early enough. I've had the right number of hours of sleep. But when I wake up,
You just
I'm
don't
so
sleep.
tired and everyone on the book.
Now the thing I had from this preacher, Mwite.
Femi Lazarus.
No. TVJ. He was talking about that I'll go through, but I don't struggle to sleep. Mimi nikiwa
In fact, I sleep very
nikiwa tu hivi kwa
my
kitanda
body is so
nazima
tired.
hivi kama stima.
Yeah.
That used to, and I think the reason I brought it up is because I never used to struggle with sleep. You remember I've said
Yeah.
I sleep and eat.
But then you wake up tired.
I wake up tired.
That's okay.
And I also don't sleep through the night. I toss turn to Allah my Jalia. I'm looking at the my phone. It's 2 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, is it that you want me to pray or you want me to sleep? But I'm like, God, we didn't have an agreement for prayer.
Nobody's
I'm like negotiating. So sometimes I wake up, I try to pray. But that's I enjoy prayer.
Uko tu hapo una.
I praise your name. And that's some of the things that stress does to you. And I think I'm realizing that maybe I have been stressed for a very long period of time.
This is how it's
And now this is how it is actually manifesting itself.
in your life.
Like a cryptic pregnancy.
It's true. It's true.
Mtoto amefika.
Anatoka 9 months.
Ametoka.
Tumbo ni flat.
Tumbo ni flat. I think that is what is happening to me. Maggie, please.
How I cope. How I cope with stress. I have many ways I cope, but the one I'm going to say here is community. You like hanging out with people.
It heals you.
A lot. Ukisikia nimekupigia uko happy? Uko I need you.
But Maggie makes the most random calls.
Yeah. I think ni kwa sababu early on as our relationship was growing, hiyo ni kitu tulikuwa tumezoea kufanyiana.
Yeah.
But now you see we've become so busy, random calls can no longer work.
Yeah.
But your community really
It helps you.
heals me. I'd rather just go out and sit somewhere with people hata kama ni watu sijui and just talk, or even if I don't have to talk, I just sit there and listen. If you get like
Yeah.
just being out and all that. So I think that is how I cope. We don't have to talk about what is bothering me really.
Yeah.
But you tukukaa na watu.
That's
You
true, I
tukukaa na watu.
Akushike mkono.
Tupige tu story, tucheke.
Unataka kunihug vizuri.
Like, sis,
No.
ain't you gotta have?
Yeah, and I don't know, I think ilijileta too Because after high school, I think that, I don't know, for a long time, like me, and I've known you for a long time. Then I came, met Kina Syukao and Tata. You are the people who have always been around me through everything that has been happening. You get? So I think Nikitu ilijimesh too into my life, and now I can't live without it.
Can't live without me.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. I think as we wind up, one thing I would like for all of us to do, because I don't think we can ever demystify stress.
Yeah.
Or get to a point of where, like we established, in a video, even Michelle Obama went through stress,
Yeah.
but she was able to cope,
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah.
We need to know what stress does to our body, just the way we've established. But even more, what does stress bring out of me? For some people, it brings depression. For some people, it brings a sense of anger. And I know we're supposed to handle anger management at a later video. But for some people who are unaonanga tu mtu amejam. You don't understand why they're angry. They're very irritable. They are very rude with their words. And stress has a way of showing you who you really are.
It's true.
Stress I remember there's a time in 2022. I was going to get so I used to buy food from Mudurwa. I used to buy food from Mudurwa.
For your business.
Yes, for my business.
Ati mbona tunakunywaje?
I used to buy food from Mudurwa. And then sometimes I'd have to pass through Bama to get some meat, nini, matumbo. And then now I'm going to Mudurwa and I'm carrying very heavy luggage. Let me tell you, time I used to be fit. Ningewabeba. Nimebeba mzigo mzito sana. And then someone who is also amebeba mzigo mzito akanigonga. Let's just say I repented that night. Nilimuita majina kama zote.
I can imagine.
Juu nilikuwa and I think the reason nilimuita hizo majina zote ni kwa sababu vitu zenye nilikuwa nimebeba zilikuwa delicate. Hazikuwa mayai, but nilikuwa nimebeba it's matumbo venye you magic ikisprinkle tu hapo unanuka sijui nini the whole day. So I'm like, when nini? Kaniambia kwenda. Kwani unafikiria nini? And it was an elderly person. The reason I felt bad was because I would never have done that to an elderly person. Click ni roll macho venye mnanijua, lakini singemtusi. I went and now that we're handling stress, and now that I think, like, I feel like I'm also like you, I'm highly stressed even right now. We need to be very careful on how we're going to be handling ourselves. Because it will determine how we handle those who are around us and they're innocent.
As we wrap up today's video, I want to remind you of Sinichai's discount to our viewers. When you come here and you say you heard about them from Truthcast, they'll give you coupon, sawa, and then you'll get 50% off for up to 3 items. The first 25 people from in this month, sawa, just come here. Msiseme hatujaiwa plug.
We want to build your relationship.
Come have a date here. Sawa. And this is a very huge, broad topic, if I may say. So we're going to do a part 2 of this, right?
Yes.
We're going to do a part 2 of this, so stay tuned. It doesn't end here. We're going to tell you how to cope and how to manage your stress. Healthy ways on how to cope and manage your stress. Okay? Till next time, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and share and like. Bye.
See you.